Number 82. Unlike many ionic compounds, calcium carbonate is insoluble in water. What information contained in this chapter suggested that calcium carbonate is water insoluble? Okay, so as this problem alludes to, many ionic compounds do dissolve in water, but calcium carbonate does not. So this one is insoluble. And this problem asks us what information? So what information can we find in the chapter? Now, I kind of wrecked my brain a little bit looking for this information. So I'll show you. Let's see. There we go. Okay, here's our chapter. Now you go back to the beginning of the chapter, and where is it at? Okay. So section 3.1, 3.23. The one place I actually found information that discussed water solubility is whether or not it dissolves in water is in 3.5. So you go to 3.5, and let's go back. I think I was already there. 3.5. No, not naming them. Go before that. Okay, physical properties of ionic compounds. So melting, boiling. Okay, here we go. This tiny little section discusses dissolving in water. A great many ionic compounds are soluble in water. When it dissolves in water, the ions are separated. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We'll learn much more about solubility in Chapter 8. Now, it doesn't really say much else about that. It says something about sometimes, if an ionic compound does dissolve in water, like sodium chloride, it conducts electricity, but it doesn't tell us anything. To get the next section starts. It doesn't say anything about how to predict whether an ionic compound does or does not dissolve in water. It says wait until Chapter 8. So going back to the problem, this problem says what information contained in this chapter suggested that calcium carbonate is insoluble in water. Okay, so where is it at? And you basically have to comb the chapter. Well, I found only one place that discussed calcium carbonate. Okay, here's a little bit of mention of carbonate. It doesn't really say much about dissolving in water, but carbonate is polyatomic anion, and spam. Okay, looked at that picture for a while, and then okay, nothing. Here we go. Ionic compounds are the active ingredients of several over-the-counter drugs, like calcium carbonate. Okay, is the antacid in Tums. Calcium carbonate is the antacid in Tums. Now, I don't have much experience with Tums. I don't know just because it says it's in Tums whether or not it's soluble. And then this is Tums. Okay, I don't know. Does Tums make it dissolve or not dissolve? Okay, but look over here. This is the key. All right, you got oysters. The shells of oysters and other mollusks are composed largely of calcium carbonate. Now, if it was soluble in water, then the shells would simply dissolve away in the ocean, right? So I guess that's it, because I can't find it anywhere else in the chapter. Yeah, you have to wait until Chapter 8. where it says the solubility is discussed. But as far as chapter 3 is concerned, this is the only piece of information I found. Okay, oyster shells and other mollusks are composed largely of calcium carbonate, so it must be insoluble, because if it weren't, then the shells would dissolve away. Okay, and that's what I found.